Hello, everyone, and good morning to you all. My name is Ava. This is Ruthie, and this is Stitching in the Interlake. I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. Yes, Ruthie's just trying to find her spot again. Yeah, okay, you get up there, Missy. Oh, her basket is gone where she was sleeping. Anyways, today is Friday, the 29th of August, 2025. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, I am working here on my Canadian Beauty. That's what I'm always working on. And I will tell you what happened yesterday in Harvard. So I went and I took Susie in right away, and they took her in. Like I just got there, pulled in, and they took her in, and it was an oil change. And I asked them to please check the battery. They said, "Well, what's wrong with the battery?" It almost sounded like what you would get from a doctor, right? Well, how do you know that's the problem, right? Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. And I said, because she didn't want to start. I'd have to boost her every day, sometimes twice a day. Yeah. So, are you sure it's the battery now? I said, well, it could possibly be the alternator. It's not charging up the battery. And she said, oh, well, if it was the alternator, it wouldn't even start at all. And I was like, that's not exactly true. So, because you can get it started, but then you would notice that your lights are going dim, and you're not having, like say the AC isn't working right, or heating or whatever. Right? So I said, please check the load on the battery. And so anyway, they did all of that, and I'm sitting there, I'm just playing my game, all that. And all of a sudden it's like, hello, Ava. Fancy meeting you here. It was the lady here from Airstyle. She would go to the church, not go to the church. She was the one that was causing problems. And so, anyways, it was just, yeah, she came for an oil change too, and that. So, anyway, so I had to get a new battery because they were showing me it was like only working at about a 20% or so, 15%. So and then I went to pay for it, and it was $350 some with the battery, the oil change, all of that. And they gave me a coupon for 6 donuts and a coffee at the Arburg Bakery. I said it has to be used within 7 days, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to be back in 7 days, so I knew I'd have to get it. So from there, I went over to the thrift store. I had a whole bunch of stuff to drop off. Yep. So I dropped that off first, and then they were having a big, huge sale. It was, I think, their 10th anniversary. Not sure. Can't remember. And there was lots and lots of people there. And they also had a farmer's market, if you will. So I ended up buying, well, I'll tell you what I bought inside first, because then I picked it up on the outside. So I looked around and I found a few small things. I found a top. And the sale was 25% off. But if you were a senior, you got an extra 10% off on top. So I bought this. This will be good for winter. It's nice and thick, and it's from Ricky's. So, good brand. Good Canadian brand. I'm not sure what I paid for this. I don't know if there's a tag here on the... No, they must have taken it off. Then I was looking through and I found curtains, and I thought there was only 2 of them. I got home and found out there's 4 of them together. So I got these ones, and they're lined. So I think I'm going to take those green ones and take them over for the yard sale. And I'm going to put these ones, they're just striped, you know, all the way. I think they had a price tag on them of $15 or whatever. So I don't know, I paid like $10 for all 4 of them, which is cheap, right? And then I found a bedspread for my bed. It was a pink one. And I kind of ruffles around it and that kind of stuff. So I thought, for my bed, good enough. It was twin size. That's what I was after. So I kind of walked around, and then I got to a small spot, and I noticed they had like floss and stuff like that, but I thought they wanted too much money for it. That's before I even knew there was a sale. Okay. So then I came across a very unusual item. I mean, unusual for finding, that you can find actually at thrift stores, right? And usually they want a lot more money for it. And I will show you that. So I have a very old sewing machine from my mother. Heavy as like a load of steel. Heavy. Like it is just like the metal they used back then. Yeah. So I don't sew. I really don't sew. Okay. But I've been looking for something to do kind of, around my, the edges of my linen or whatever it is. Okay. So I would never be able to do this with my mother's. So I found this thing. Okay. It's a brand I don't know about. It said that the feed dogs will only sew 2 pieces of cotton fabric and that's it. I'm going to try and try and find some feed dogs for this, but it's a white brand, And that is part, I looked it up, it's part of Husqvarna. They don't make them anymore. So, but I'm hoping to get, the parts for it. So, anyway, before I knew there was a sale on, I kind of hummed and hawed, and I asked lady about it. And I didn't even know what the feed dogs were, but I had assumed that it was the plate that goes underneath with the little, to move the fabric along. I was right. Like I said, I'm not a sewer. Not. So, anyway, she was telling me about it, and she says, "Is there anything else I can help you with?" I said, "You know what?" I said, "I think I'm going to take it." Now, the price on it, this is the good part. When I thought I was going to buy it, the price on it was, drum roll please, $20. And this is again before I knew there was a sale on. Because I thought everybody was there just because the market outside. And so I get to the cash, $13. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? I mean, honest to goodness, how can you go wrong with something like that? Yes, it was an as-is sale, but they had right on it that the feed dogs weren't, they need to be replaced. So I'm going to try and get them. And I guess they're, because it's, they're not made anymore. Maybe that parts are going to be a little hard to find. I thought, well, that's okay. I will do what I can do. I thought, for $13, how can I not take it? I thought $20 was a good price. But I thought for 13, I'm going to take it. Like these white brands were sold, I think I can't remember if they said that they had, because it was a division of Husqvarna, that they either started in 2006 to sell them, but it wasn't a bestseller. So they stopped making them. Or it was that they ended in 2006. Something like that. But you know what? I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Because there's no way I am lugging my mother's old sewing machine. Like, it's a nice sewing machine. It brings back memories. My mother used to sew us dresses and skirts and stuff like that. And I think my mother got it new, or maybe it was that she got it secondhand years ago. We're talking in the 50s, late 50s. So, I don't know. But anyway, I am going to try this. And I know I don't have a lot of room here, but what I can do is take it down. It's not heavy to carry. And I can take it down to the common room and I can sew there. Because the common room isn't very far. Plus I've got a thing to pull the, like it expands and you can put stuff on there. So I don't have to actually carry it, which is good. And then I can do, I don't even know if it's got a bobbin. I don't even know what kind of bobbins it does use. But I got dishes to do after this, and then I think I'm going to be searching to see if I can get, a few parts to it. Anyway, I ended up I bought all that stuff and put it in the car. And I saved a lot of money. I'll tell you that. I saved a lot of money. And so then what is it? Oh yeah, I put the stuff in Susie, and then I went and got the stuff that I wanted from the farmer's market type thing. And I got a nice bunch of broccoli. I got a nice cabbage. It was the smallest cabbage that they had. And I got a green pepper and 2 tomatoes. And then I went to the Red Apple store. I was looking for a lanyard to put my keys on. So I found one. And so I've got that. And then I went to the bakery and got the 6 donuts, and then I also got some cinnamon twists that were day old, because I don't mind paying, for day old. So anyway, then I went to the co-op store. Now we're attached to the same co-op from here in Eriksdale to Arburg. So my card there will work in both places. Like it's a membership card basically. So you can get dividends at the end of the year. So anyway, I got some cat food. I got stuff that I can't get here. I got a 2 pizzas from Dela, and that is a BC company that makes vegan. And I bought some of my wieners, and they had some cheese. They had just, I don't know, whatever else. Oh, I bought a thing of peaches. They were the white flesh peaches. It was actually pretty good. They were the softest ones I could find in the bunch. Boy, they're all a weird looking shape now. And then I don't know what else I got. Oh, I was able to get 4 things of So Delicious, which is a non-dairy ice cream. Oh my gosh, I got 2 of the butter pecan. Oh my gosh, that stuff's sweet. What? What? I wish that they would that they wouldn't make it so sweet. But it was on sale. The other stuff there from Haagen-Dazs and Ben and Jerry's, they were more. I got I was debating whether or not to get it. I got a 12 case of bubbly, and normally they are $6.99, 2 for 13, something like that. No, the price had gone up to $8.99 and not on sale. But I got one, just one. I just have one during the day. Well, yesterday I had two, but I usually just have one during the day. And they had my coffee filters on sale because I use a size 6. And they didn't have any here, so I got them there. I got 4 packages of them. I thought, well, you're on sale. I'm gonna get it. Better to pay it now than to pay full price, when it's off sale, which is like $6 for each one. And I paid like $2.35 or something, I think. So it was well worth it. So I finished up there at the co-op. I had a nice lady come and bring everything out to Susie for me. And then I came home and I brought everything in. Got the ice cream in the freezer. And then I had a quick lunch. And I went over to Juliet's and I took over the cabbage, and I said, Juliet, can you cut this and I'll give you, like cut it in half. I said, I'll take the smaller part. And I said, like if you can get fresh from, backyard farmer or, like small country farmer, like it really good. Like a bag of green beans. I should have bought them, but I didn't. But they were like a bag like this, full, for $1.50. Like, that's a good price. So, yeah. Then I was walking around the thrift store, and I have on my set of keys, I have my name written there. And so I was waiting and I was admiring this lady's 3 daughters. And she said, oh yeah, she said, she pointed at my keychain and she said, look. And her daughter, her youngest daughter, was named Eva. They call her Eva, though. I don't like Eva. No. I never have. I never have. I never have. I never have. I don't know why it is, but I never have. I've never liked that. I've never liked that. So anyways, I chatted over there with Juliet for a little bit, and then Doreen Duncan came, and she was the lady who had done the framing for all of my pictures. But she's retired now. She can't do it. And because it takes a lot of strength to be able to cut things, the mats and that. So, but anyways, we talked for a bit. I hadn't seen her in years. And So then, yeah, so then I left there, came home, put the rest of my stuff away, and do you think I could stitch? No way. Like by this time it was 3:30 in the afternoon. I was tired and sore. And you know, like when I go like that, I get very tired, exhausted, the whole bit. So, anyway, and so then I stared off into space, listened to TV and that, but that was that was it. So then I got into my PJs and crawled into bed to work on my journal, and I do that faithfully every night, and keeps me sane. So anyway, a little while later, Juliet calls, and she said, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm going like, it didn't even dawn on me. I said, "Oh, yeah." She said, "I sold your Fitbit, the watch. I've had it up for sale for 3 years, I guess. I just never took to it. Just never took to it." I said, "How much did you sell it for?" She said, "Exactly what you were asking. So $90. Plus, I sold another white kind of tea tray table for $10. So I made $100 yesterday. So I was happy about that because that will help pay for my the battery. The battery I think was 160. I don't know what it was here. I don't even know if I've still got it here. I don't know. Yeah, here. The battery was $160. Yeah, the labor was $79. The oil change was only $65.35. So, but Susie is good now. Oh, and one thing that they said was that I should put a trickle charger on it, especially if I'm not going to drive it very often. And I said, "Well, I've got one. It's there." And I said I was told not to really use them. I said, "Nope, use them." Because what it does in the winter time, especially for us way up here, it it only comes on periodically, right? So it just comes on for a little bit and then it shuts down and then comes on a little bit. And what it does is it helps to keep the battery warm as well. So that when it comes time to starting it in the wintertime, not only is the block heater, which heats up the oil and transmission, I think transmission oil, I don't know. No, I think it's just for the motor. Um, it just warms it up so that it is not such a hard start. And he said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Put it on there." I asked him, I said, "Did they put it on?" And um, I don't think I remember what he said. Can't remember. So much going on. So, yeah. Yeah. So, otherwise, that's it. So, I've got dishes to do. Then I'm going over to Juliet's. I got to pick up that money so I can put it into my account. And then I think I've got to stop off at the co-op store. Oh, one thing was this morning I was watching a program. Right now they're just targeting, or it is just in the States. I don't know if it's up here or not. But they have where these tap readers, people were saying they had not even gotten their card out of their wallet, and the tap reader had already taken it with credit cards. One guy had it that he had his wallet in his back pocket. He hadn't even taken his wallet out, and it scanned 3 cards and charged him 3 times for the same thing. And then another lady, she said she went to pay for something, and she had the cash in her hand to give it, and it came up already paid for. And it scanned her credit cards. So be very, 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 very careful. If you can get an RFID wallet, then get one. That will prevent it. So, but I mean, some people, like they said, they were waiting in line and they were back a little ways and it was reading. This technology garbage is starting. Ugh, awful. Anyway, I'll show you this tomorrow because I didn't stitch it all yesterday afternoon. No way. Couldn't. So, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be well. May God bless you this day and every day. God loves you, and so do I. And so does Ruthie. She's laying over here. Jonah's up in his bed there in the sun and shine. Yeah. And I'm just going to wash my dishes. Then I'm going to take a run over to Juliet's and run to the bank and come home, and then about 1:30 I'm going to go and ride Rosie down to the post office. So I walked a lot yesterday, so I didn't need to ride Rosie. There was no way I could. I was way too tired, absolutely. So thank you, Jesus, for being my Lord and Savior. Thank you for saving me from my sins. Thank you for being there in my darkest and deepest moments. Thank you for loving me like you do. Thank you for caring enough for me that you would die on the cross for me so that my sins would be forgiven. And that's a prayer I pray for all of you as well. Okay, please remember on Sunday there is a live. I will be starting it anywhere between 11:15, somewhere in there. Probably close to 11. So just keep an eye out, okay? And I hope you will join me, those who can. And if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But yeah, so I guess that's it. That's all I got to tell you. Toodlittles, everybody.